Okay, let me just say good morning, everybody. As you know, rain started falling on the city of Houston on Sunday, and then, of course, it increased even more on yesterday and last night, and then today. And we are going to be in this weather pattern for the next 24 hours. So let me just say that people need to be very patient. That system is still down in that Victoria area, and it's moving very slowly, about 2 miles per hour, and it's going to be moving very slowly heading east, and until it clears and gets on the east side of Houston, we're going to have to deal with these rain bands. And so quite frankly, it's the rain bands that are coming in, and they're dropping water. Sometimes it could be 2-3 inches per hour. So we've gotten a considerable amount of rain, and it's going to continue throughout the rest of the day and into the night. So we remain under flood watch, and then the Houston area itself is high risk of flooding. And so I want to caution people, if you, number one, stay home. Okay, just stay home, stay off the roads. That will help you out, and it'll help us out as well. So unless you just have to be on the road, let me encourage people to remain off the roads. If by chance you just have to be out there, I'm going to ask you again not to be driving through high water. And last night, for example, in that West Belford area, right around 59, where the water came out of Keegan's Bank, we saw several cars that were driving through high water last night, but they simply could not make it through. So again, we've said it over and over again. I want to remind people, do not try to drive through this high water. It's just, you're not helping yourself. You could possibly drown. If not, at the very minimum, you can stall, and you're just going to create problems for yourself. And then the first responders and others are going to be out there doing our best to rescue you. So just be patient for the rest of the day. And as a result, with the exception of essential employees, the City of Houston employees are standing down. They are not reporting to work, with the exception of essential employees. And that may very well end up being the case tomorrow morning, but we'll provide an advisory early in the morning for City of Houston employees. But for the rest of the day, with the exception of essential employees, City of Houston employees are not working. That would be the same advice that I would give to others across the City of Houston for the rest of the day, and then pay very close attention to the advisories that will be coming out first thing in the morning. We do expect, like last night, these rain bands to probably come and maybe be intensified later on tonight. And so, especially this evening, I want to encourage everyone to stay off the roads. We're being very proactive. This time around, for example, we're watching these interstates like 288, like I-45 at North Main, and if we see, for example, that the rain might come outside of the banks along the bayous, we are stopping the traffic. Okay, so that's what happened earlier this morning, for example, on I-45, right around that North Main area. If water gets out on that freeway, we will stop the traffic until we can get a more positive report, and then we'll open it up again. And the reason being, if you can remember, 1 year ago, September, Tropical Storm Imelda, I-45 North Main turned into a lake, because that water came so very quickly, because it came outside of its banks, came in so quickly, and more than 100 vehicles were stranded, and we just don't want to see that repeat itself. So lesson learned, we're being much more proactive. Please be patient and understanding that if we block certain areas off, it's because we are taking a look and looking at seeing where the water levels are. And we don't want you to be driving through and get surprised, get stuck, and then possibly risk your life. So we're being more proactive, and then when we get the green light, we are allowing the traffic to flow through, but we are continuing to monitor those areas. So we've got people literally along the bayous, along these roads and streets, these interstates, monitoring the situation. And if they tell me, Mayor, it looks like water is going to come out the banks and could get on these roads and streets and interstates, then we will stop that traffic ahead of time as much as possible. Things can happen so very quickly, and so just be mindful of that as we go forward. There are barricades up at more than 70 locations throughout the city of Houston. I want to remind people they're there for a reason. And so please do not go around the barricades. They are not there for decoration. They are there for your protection. So if barricades are up, do not go around the barricades, please. And they're at about 70 different locations throughout the city of Houston. Let me encourage people not to view the water as a recreational event. So please, don't be going out into the water. Certainly don't be going out into these bayous. You don't want to do that. We did get some reports of some kids that were out and about in this water. That you just simply don't want to do that. That's dangerous. So don't do any of that. We've had a lot of street flooding, especially in the southern part and southwest part of the city of Houston, because as you know, last night Keegan's came out of his bank. The water is now back within his bank, and then we'll continue to monitor that. Willow Water Hole in southwest Houston, for example, the water came up, started going into the pond, the ditching pond. That's what it's designed to do, but there was some street flooding. We have not received any reports through 311 of any structural flooding at this point. So no reports of structural flooding. If anyone has taken on any water, please let us know. We would like to know that. But we haven't gotten any reports of any structural flooding, which is good. And my hope is over the next 24 hours that will remain the case. But that will depend on Mother Nature. So let's hope and pray that this system will start moving at a quicker pace to the east, and we'll get out of here, and we can all breathe a sigh of relief. That's where we are from my end for right now. Let me first pause. Let me bring up Chief Buenik of the Office of Emergency Management. Chief Buenik.
Great. Thank you, Mayor, for your leadership and the guidance that you're providing us here at the Emergency Operations Center. The Office of Emergency Management has been coordinating with all the different city departments, and we appreciate everybody's assistance. It's all hands on deck at this point. Our Office of Emergency Management personnel have been working since yesterday morning when we activated at 7 o'clock in the morning, and we will continue to be activated up until the storm passes Houston, which is expected to be sometime on Wednesday. I also want to thank our external partners, National Weather Service, for providing us the daily updates and sometimes hourly updates. We're working with the Harris County Office of Emergency Management and also the Harris County Flood District. We're utilizing their data to monitor the bayous. Right now we have 3 bayous in the city of Houston that are at or near bank, mainly Buffalo Bayou at Milam, Shepherd, and Piney Point, Briar Branch at Campbell, Braze at South Main, and Braze at Lawndale. We're also working closely with the police department and fire department and public works on water rescues, but I'll let them handle it. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. I do want to acknowledge Mayor Pro Tem Dave Martin, who represents both Kingwood and the Clear Lake area. So every storm is different. Every storm has its personality, and you don't know where these rain bands will go. This time around on the southern end, which includes that down in the Clear Lake area, and then, of course, the southwest area is getting hit the hardest. On the northeast end, for right now, not nearly so much. So he's quite familiar with all of these different weather events. Let me bring up Chief Acevedo.
Thank you, Mayor, for your leadership and for all you're doing for us. Let me just get my glasses on here. Okay, as of right now, the department has 0 priority 1 calls holding, which are highest priority calls, and we only have a total of 2 priority 2 calls holding and 20 priority 3 calls holding. We're completely mobilized. All members of the department are in uniform and out and about. We are operating 16 high water trucks that are staffed and deployed throughout the city, but primarily in the southeast, southwest, and southern parts of the city. We have eight boats fully staffed, 4 evac boats and 4 Zodiac boats across the city. 288 continues to be shut down between 45, 610, down by the medical center area, so please avoid the 288. And 45 northbound HOV lane was shut down, continues to be shut down because of flooding in both of those cases. We have 27 rescues between 0600, 6 a.m. this morning, and 4 high water vehicle rescues overnight. So far, we have 24 cars that have been towed because of the flooding, Mayor, but we believe that number is going to go up significantly as we get the calls in. And like you said, please do not go across those barricades. They're there for a reason, and we don't want to have to rescue people. We don't have to. We don't want people to get hurt. So that's my report.
Thank you. Chief Pena, Houston Fire Department.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to first begin by stating how proud I am of our Houston firefighters. They've been taking care of business, and we've had over 60 rescues and evacuations from when the operation started yesterday at 8 p.m. Over 60 of those, they've all been street level flooding. We have all our high water assets out. We've partnered with Public Works, and I want to thank my partners here and our other first responders, Police Department, Public Works, certainly OEM for the support they've been provided us. We have 18 assets total. We've incorporated our assets with Public Works. We've incorporated their assets into our computer-aided dispatch, which allows us to identify those units in the areas and able to deploy them, just like we would any other asset. We also have 32 watercraft that are available for operations. We haven't had to use any boats for evacuations. They've all been, as I mentioned, street-level flooding, and we've been able to service those with our high-water vehicles. Again, every time we talk about flooding, we go through the same canned spiel about the majority of deaths during flooding occur in vehicles as a result of people trying to drive through flooded streets. It only takes a foot of water to sweep your car away and throw it downstream and cause a tragedy. We want to remind people, we even have a slogan that rhymes: turn around, don't drown. We've mentioned this before. It's not just a slogan. It is going to save lives. As I mentioned, over 60 rescues and evacuations. They've all been street level flooding as a result of people trying to drive through flooded streets. We cannot stress enough the importance of you guys being cautious. You're putting yourselves at risk. You're putting first responders at risk unnecessarily. So please heed the warnings. Don't go around the barricades. All the things that the mayor has mentioned up here, our partners in Police Department, Public Works, take those to heart, heed the warnings, don't drive through flooded streets. That's my report, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me bring up Carol Haddock, the Director of Public Works. Carol.
Hi, good morning. Thank you, Mayor, for having us be part of this operation today. So first and foremost, our water system is fully intact, fully operational, completely safe. Houston's water throughout this event will remain safe. As far as our response, in addition to the nearly 30 units that we have integrated with the fire department, we have crews that are at our multiple facilities around town ready to get out, remove debris, and take down trees. So if you see trees down in the right-of-way, give us a call at 311 and we will get crews dispatched out to get those right-of-ways cleared. But for this point, we ask that you do stay home. Do not get out there unnecessarily right now. It doesn't hurt for that tree to be there at the moment. Let us get through this bad part of the weather, and then we'll get our crews out there to make it safe for things to return to normal operations as the weather moves out tomorrow morning. So beyond that, we are prepared, ready to go, and we thank you for keeping our crews safe by staying safe at home yourselves.
And Mayor Pro Tem, you want to give a report on your area?
Thank you, Mayor. I had the opportunity to go to both areas, the furthest south area in the city of Houston and Harris County, and the furthest north area. And there's a vast difference between what's happening on the south end and the north end. The north end is basically pretty dry. The lake levels that we're always concerned about, Lake Conroe and Lake Houston, are below normal. But then you go on the south side, we're concerned about a couple of bayous down there, especially Clear Creek. And there are non-waterways that are at flood stage right now. So we're hoping for little to no more activity in the next 24 hours. That's going to be our cautious point. But everything looks good as far as the water levels, the flood stages, and things of that nature. So thanks for the opportunity.
Okay, so we've been watching very closely many of our bayous, Keegan Bayou, the Willow Water Hole, Braves Bayou, Buffalo Bayou, all of these bayous we're watching very, very closely. There are plenty of assets that we have deployed throughout the city of Houston. Last night, this morning, concentrating a lot on the southern end of Houston and then in southwest Houston. As the system starts to move very slowly to the east, then we'll track it as well, and we'll reposition resources into those areas. And so the southern end, southwest have gotten quite a bit of the rain, and then we anticipate as it moves to the east, that rain could and probably will shift on that other side, and then we'll track that and deploy resources to make sure that we provide whatever is needed for the people in those areas. So again, you don't have to be on the roads, stay off the road. You got to be patient. This is a slow-moving storm. I wish I could put a big fan on the down in Victoria and blow it quickly out of here, but Mother Nature will do what Mother Nature does, which means we have to be patient and exercise basic common sense. Okay? Because last night, as we were watching and literally seeing people just drive through that water and then get stalled. Okay? So again, don't do that. Stay home, stay safe, get on your internet or your devices, do some homework with your kids and all that good stuff. Okay? But stay safe.